The need for blood donations here in Arizona is greater than ever. Police are hoping you know who this robber is. He was caught on camera at a local drugstore back in November. Flagstaff is a city where the temperature rarely reaches 90 degrees. And although snow falls during the winter season, the sun shines 78% of the year. Nearly 48% of children here in this West Sedona area are not vaccinated, making it the place with the highest non-vaccination rate in Arizona. Members of the new Child Safety Task Force, they range from judges to pediatricians, even to foster parents. Citizens for a Better Arizona gathered at the Capitol today and asked voters to make a judgment on whether 2 state officials should be reelected. Florida's been one of the states greatly affected by this citrus-killing disease. There's 5 consulates here in Arizona where Mexicans can go to get the help they need to get an ID.
Amy Deal, stuffed in a locker, left overnight, and found dead.
Even though there was a child that has deceased, the siblings in that home typically have experienced some traumatic upbringing.
5-year-old Jesse Shockley, missing since October.
Why wouldn't you report your child within 24 hours?
Both victims of child abuse.
There will be no justice for dead children.
It's cases like these that got the attention of leaders of the state, like Maricopa County Attorney Bill Montgomery.
Our ability to get something done this time appears highly likely, certainly more likely than previous efforts.
Montgomery is the chair of Governor Jan Brewer's Child Safety Task Force, targeted to get to the bottom of the state's child welfare system.
We're engaged in an effort right now to try to help preclude cases like this from ever happening again.
Underlying the importance of the mission, new data shows that more children have died from maltreatment. The report revealed that 64 children passed away in 2009 from child abuse, and in 2010, the number jumped to 70.
Certainly, CPS is stressed.
Beth Rosenberg from Children's Action Alliance says something needs to be done.
I think the questions need to be raised: what's working and what's not working, and how can we fix what's not working?
And what seems not to be working is the state's child welfare system. Some of the issues that the task force are tackling include CPS casework overloads, creating a separate investigative unit to handle more serious child abuse cases, and placement of children who fall victim to child abuse.
When mistakes are made, they're often very high profile and often have tragic consequences, which we've seen here in Maricopa County all too often in the last year.
2011 has witnessed a string of serious child abuse cases, some of which Child Protective Services have previously been contacted. The most recent example is the case of Jesse Shockley, who went missing in October.
This is one of those circumstances where certainly now with the benefit of hindsight, we know that we missed the call that should have been made to safeguard Jesse.
But the chairman warns us allegations that Jerese Hunter is responsible for her daughter's disappearance need to be taken cautiously.
We want to make sure that charges that are pursued in the prosecution that follows will appropriately hold Ms. Hunter accountable for whatever she is alleged to have engaged in.
I had to live in my closet.
Serious cases of child abuse is something Christy Murphy says she sees all too often, and lately, more serious than ever.
Children that used to come in with scratches and bruises and burns are now coming in with broken bones and internal injuries.
Child Help is a place where abused kids can go to recover from their horrible experiences.
This is the worry wall.
The worry wall is where the little victims can express their feelings.
Worry about being alone with a man. I'm worried about getting shaken again. Next time I'm worried he will kill me. Being tied up. I had to hit my sister or they would hit me or her or worse. I'm worried about a man. This looks like a picture of a gun.
Although the number of little ones dying from a preventable cause has gone up,
this problem is not going away. In fact, it's getting worse every single day.
The hope is, with officials who take the issue to heart, little victims like Jesse and Amy will not have to disappear. In Phoenix, Amanda Munoz, Cronkite News.
That's right, Jadi. I headed to Flagstaff to see what makes it one of the country's best places to retire. And for those of you who have traveled to the high country, it's no surprise why.
Phil and Sterling Dakin have traveled to almost every corner of the country.
Just about every state in the union except Hawaii.
They have lived in Michigan, Ohio, and even Prescott.
We just had cloudy skies back there.
But now call home one of the country's most desirable places to retire.
Even when it's cold, the sun still shines.
And the Dakins are not alone. U.S. News has voted Flagstaff, Arizona, one of the most desirable places to retire in 2012. Out of the entire United States, this little town about 2 hours north of Phoenix has knocked off destinations even like Miami as the best place to put down roots in your golden years.
We love the cool summers and the sunshine.
Phil used to be a production manager.
Planning of the materials.
And Sterling was a music instructor. But now the two are singing the praises of this small city.
Not gonna work.
And for a good reason.
You're gonna do that.
Flagstaff is a city where the temperature rarely reaches 90 degrees. And although snow falls during the winter season, the sun shines 78% of the year.
Too beautiful for words.
Janet Mars has been working with retired communities for nearly 40 years and says she's not surprised.
The potential for more retirees is definitely there. You can come up the mountain and it doesn't affect you.
Okay, happy enough to go for a walk.
And although the Dakins still plan to visit other parts of the country, they're proud to call their cozy Flagstaff bungalow home.
And that trip that the Dakins plan to take is to Hawaii, one of the only states they haven't been to for Sterling's 80th birthday in March.
Now, Amanda, as we all know, Flagstaff sees this pretty fair share of snow each year, and it's quite a hassle. Is it something that the people you talk to enjoy over there?
You know, with the folks I talked with, they really enjoy the 4 seasons. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just really pleasant year-round weather. Live in Phoenix, Amanda Munoz, CBS 5 News.
Hollis is not just any tattoo artist. He holds a record for his talent.
The current Guinness World Record holder for most tattoos in 24 hours. I took it from Kat Von D on LA Inc.
And his clients
We're not dealing with bikers and thugs anymore and drug dealers.
are also something to brag about.
Professional baseball players, Emmett Smith's wife, judges, lawyers, soccer moms.
Hollis has a tattoo shop in Phoenix, and nothing would bug him more than a new tax, which could affect his business.
If we're already paying taxes on it and we're being already taxed on our supplies, you'll be actually triple dipping on us. And I think that's truly unfair to any businessman.
He's talking about the so-called sin tax, an idea that Phoenix City Councilman Tom Simplot says could replace a 2% food tax that went into effect last April.
Quite frankly, it's what allowed us during the very worst of the recession to balance our budget.
The food tax is set to expire by 2015 or could be repealed. Either way, Simplot says there needs to be a backup plan.
I believe we need to look at every option, and that includes what some people would call sin taxes.
The sin tax could affect alcohol, cigarettes, and medical marijuana to businesses like strip clubs and tattoo parlors. But it's not just the tax itself that rubs Hollis the wrong way.
I'm just sick and tired of being, stigmatized as, sinful.
Because what Hollis is doing, he says,
You want a really nice piece of art, you come to us.
is far from sinful. In Phoenix, Amanda Munoz, Cronkite News.